January Regents 2019, beginning at multiple choice number 16. In the diagram below of triangle ABC, AC is extended through point C to point D, and BE is drawn to AC, and they don't tell you anything else about these things. So you have to be careful about making assumptions. Which equation is always true? Well, the first choice says measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 2. No, the exterior angle theorem, this is an exterior angle, says that it's equal to the sum of the remote. So this should say 3 plus 4. Or if there was some way to add 3 and 6, 3 plus 6 plus 5, that would again be an exterior angle to the whole big angle triangle here. So the answer is no. All right, so then we have the measure of angle 5 equals the measure of angle 3 minus the measure of angle 2. Well, 5 has no direct relationship with 3 and 2. It's not an exterior angle to this triangle. And, you know, in the big triangle, all would add up to 180, but there's no mention of 180 here, so that's out. Angle 6 equals the measure of angle 3 minus the measure of angle 2. And again, not the case, as 6 has no direct relationship with 3 or 2. And then the measure of angle 7, now that is an exterior angle to this triangle, equals the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 2. So if you can completely block out this, well, not really. I wish I had a piece of paper, I would block it better. If you could block it out, this exterior angle always equals the sum of these two angles. So I'm going to go with 4. In the diagram below of right triangle ABC, AC equals 8 and AB equals 17. Which equation would determine the value of angle A? So we want to find the measure of angle A. And right now we have adjacent and hypotenuse. That's cosine. So would the cosine of angle A be 15 over 17? 15. Where did 15 come from? Good question. So since this is a right triangle and I know both sides here, we want to use the Pythagorean theorem, 8 squared plus x squared equals 17 squared. So you pretty much know what it is. I think that's 289. Yep. So x squared equals 225, so x equals 15. So this is 15, okay? So this cosine's out because that's wrong. So this is opposite. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So that should be 15 over 17. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. That would be 15 over 8. So that's wrong. And then tangent 15 over 8. That's what we just said it should be. So there's our answer. Ooh, pages are sticking. Okay. Francisco needs the 3 pieces of glass shown below to complete a stained glass window. The shapes, 2 triangles and a trapezoid, are measured in inches. Glass can be purchased in rectangular sheets that are 12 inches wide. What is the minimum length of a sheet of glass in inches that Francisco must purchase in order to have enough to complete the window? Well, if you really look at these pieces, okay, you can see that this has a 13 here and this has a 13 here. So can I reflect this or flip it over so that now it's here? So this 13 is here and this is 12 and this is 5. And since the height is 12, yes, I just like a puzzle piece can fit this onto there. So now I'm going to try the other option. 15 over here. So will it go here? Height of 12, length of 9. So this fits perfectly into here, like a puzzle piece. So I really can conserve a lot of materials instead of doing 20 plus 9 plus 5 or some other arrangement and buying more than I need and having waste. Which, by the way, I used a lot of this concept when I was doing the flooring that I posted in my... I was able to return 2 boxes of flooring, one for each room, because I was able to conserve enough material that I was able to get my money back. I got $112 back in flooring by returning 2 boxes. Okay. So, glass can be purchased in rectangular sheets that are 12 inches wide. So there's your 12 inches. What is the minimum length of a sheet of glass? Well, if I look at my diagram here, I can go with 20 inches. 1. In the diagram of quadrilateral navy below, the measure of angle YNA is 30, and they already put it in the picture for you. The measure of angle YAN is 38, and the measure of angle AVY is 94, and the measure of angle VAY is 46. So the first thing that I'm going to do is calculate the missing angle measures in my picture. So 30 plus 38 subtracted from 180 makes this angle 112. And so it's a strategy I've been telling you since day one. Always fill in the missing pieces. Don't worry about it. I haven't even read the rest of the question yet, right? Or did I? I can't remember. Just like I can't remember what day it is. 46 plus 94. Anybody else having that problem? Makes this 40. Which segment has the shortest length? Well, a little secret for you. The shortest length is always across from the smallest angle. Now, 30 is the smallest angle in the whole picture, which means that this is the shortest side. But then when you look at the next triangle, this clearly is not the shortest side. So we go to the smallest angle in this triangle, making this the shortest side. So VA is my choice, 19. Which is a really curious question, because wouldn't most people guess VA just by looking at the picture? That's a pretty easy one if you really just don't know what you're doing. Okay, here is a topic that we have not covered in class, and it's a huge one. This is one of the toughest things I teach from the beginning, but students have been so good at this in the past on my Regents exams, and so it's actually pretty heartbreaking that I didn't get a chance to teach this topic to you in live person. But I'm going to basically show you, I don't know, it's such an involved topic, and I don't want to teach the whole thing right here. You should look up your notes on this for equations of circles, but I'm going to show you how I solve this. So basically, if you understand that the equation of a circle is just like the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then you understand the structure of the equation of a circle. Okay, and they give us the diameter is 10. That means the radius is 5. So really, the equation of a circle is a squared plus b squared equals the radius squared. Well, wait a second, Mrs. Curtis. That's not 5 squared, and that's not 5 squared. You're right, because we have to do something called completing the square. And this question is very involved. So I'm going to take these two, and I'm going to divide by 2 here. Okay, I'm going to group this. Let me do that. I'm going to group this, and I'm going to take this number and divide by 2 and square it. This is called completing the square. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So I'm going to add a 1 here, and I'm going to add a 1 here. Now we have to do it with the y's. 8 divided by 2, don't worry about the signs, doesn't matter, because when you square it, it becomes positive anyway. 4 squared is 16, so I'm going to add 16 here, and I'm also going to add 16 here. So what I end up getting is 17 plus 8, which is what number? 25. If I square the radius, I want 25. So it is not going to be choice 3 or 4. But now I have to figure out which one of these is going to give me the correct center. All right, so let's continue. So when I take x squared minus 2x, and I add 1 plus 1, put a rectangle around that. It's good to kind of isolate these, but it continues on, plus y squared minus 8y plus 16 equals 25. Okay. We're going to factor this. Oh boy. So we haven't done a whole lot of factoring. It's been a while. X's matching negatives, minus, minus. And then it'll be 1 times 1. Plus y matching negatives again. Minus, minus, matching negatives. This will be 4 and 4. So x minus 1 squared, there's your a squared, plus y minus 4 squared, there's your b squared, equals 25, there's your radius squared. Okay. So the thing with the center of a circle is you want it, this is like a translation. This means we went left 1 and I'm sorry, the translation is opposite sign. So this means we went right 1 and we went right 4. So the center will really be at 1, 4 in this circle with a radius of 5. And if you look here, we want the center to be at 1, 4, and the radius is 5. Now, if I factor this other one, I'm going to end up with x plus 1 and y plus 4. Which then I would take the opposite sign, and this center would be negative 1, negative 4. So my answer to question 20 is 1. And there's a lot packed into there, and we usually take several days practicing this, and it's on a lot of homework assignments, but we don't have that luxury anymore. So find the notes. They're all filled in. You can take a look at them and see if you can figure that out. All right, on the set of, oh, it looks like I'm at the end of, we'll stop here, and then I'll do the last 4 questions on the last video.